got a couple of minutes and I'll tell you another story. This one starts when I got a book out of the library in the late 1960s. It was on the Spitfire. And I thought to myself, one of the instructors at the Aero Club flew Spitfires. I'll take this down and give him a look at it. So one day when things were a bit quiet, we had a discussion in the instructor's room, and I said, I thought you might be interested in this book, Dennis. It was Dennis Sinclair. Does anyone remember him? Yep. Really lovely gentleman. He opened the book up at the title page, and opposite that was a Spitfire. The photo was taken front on, to the right and down low, and covering almost the whole of the image was this two-bladed propeller. He looked at the image and he said, "That's my old aeroplane." And I thought, wow, this is something. And I said to him something like, "Did you fly a wooden propeller Spitfire during the war?" I said, "That's what it says down the bottom here." And he said, "Yeah, I did." But he said, "I didn't fly it in action." He said, "I flew it on rhubarbs." And I said, "What is a rhubarb?" And he said, "Well, it's where aircraft are used for other than the action that you normally expect from a fighter aircraft." He said, "This is my old aircraft," because he said, he pointed to the under part of the wing and said, "There used to be an oil cooler there, that has been removed." And a camera was placed in that position. And what in fact a rhubarb consisted of was that he said I would cross the channel at 50 feet in this aircraft, stripped of all armament, stripped of guns, etc. The lightest weight Spitfire you'd ever come across. He said it was a slippery machine. And I would hedge hop to a target and climb up to maybe 5,000 feet or whatever was requested and take photographs of where the bombs had dropped the night before so that people could assess the damage. He said then it was back down to hedge height, back to the channel, 50 feet, all the way back. And I said, wow, I'm very interested in all of that. And I said, well, I've heard that you got shot down. Did you get shot down in this aircraft? And how did we get a photo of it? He said, no. He said, I was shot down in a Mosquito. And I said, oh, how did that come about? So the story goes that later in the war, he was flying one of the latest Mosquitoes, and he was told that it would be possible for him to fly at 33,000 feet. And at 33,000 feet, he didn't have any worry from German fighters because he was told that they didn't climb to that height. Wrong. There's a couple of things that he wasn't aware of, and that was that he was leaving a contrail and people on the ground and with searchlights could look up and see the contrail and see its progress and plan ahead a little surprise party for him. He didn't know at that time that the German aircraft Me-109s climbed to 33,000 feet, so two of them came up underneath and from behind and shot him up. His navigator was killed. The navigator was alongside him in the position of the normal navigator. The aircraft was damaged, and so was his face. And he attempted to get out and couldn't because of the damage to the aircraft and the door which he would normally use. And so the aircraft went into a spin and it spun from 33,000 feet virtually down to ground level. He managed to eventually get through a square hatch in the roof of the aircraft, which he told me he looked at many years later and always wondered how he actually got through it with a parachute. He said the parachute sort of went poof and he hit the ground. So he'd plummeted in a spin 33,000 feet. He was injured in the aircraft and injured in the landing on the ground, and ended up in a hospital. Fortunately, he had the benefit of the, what was it, the treaty? Anyway, the treaty, and he was looked after in the hospital. 2 days later, 2 pilots came in and shook him by the hand, and they said, "We want to congratulate you. You'd have to be one of the luckiest pilots alive. We saw you descend from 33,000 feet, and we estimate that your parachute was open for less than 5 seconds."